Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Titan chain cable snow tire chains here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. So your cable chains here are going to come with some steel rollers, and the entire structure of this is going to be made of a low carbon steel. Now what that means for ourselves, we are going to see just a little pitting, a little bit of wear and tear on these guys as they go down the road. However, they are built to last us for the seasons to come, which is great. The one thing I'll say to that though, let's make sure we're doing a good job spritzing off any kind of chemicals or any other kind of agents that we might find on the ground, because that corrosion can start setting in pretty quick on this steel if we're not maintaining it. And to that end too, in the off seasons, a little oil and grease on these guys can make sure that they're going to last you in that off-season time, which is great. Now, we also are having that steel roller, so what is that giving us? Well, a little bit more of a smoother ride. These are definitely going to be for your primarily light-duty application, so just a little bit of snow and starting to broach just a little bit into that ice. Now, they're not going to be the most aggressive option out there. In fact, they're probably going to be the least aggressive option you're going to find here for your Gladiator. And to that end, I think this is only going to be great if you're finding something just to go ahead and actually stay legal inside your vehicle in case that your state is requiring you to have some chains, and of course just giving you that little bit of actual traction control that we're looking for. That way we can stay safe on the roads, primarily in that light duty application. I really do like these little plastic ends here. They do a great job of when we start actually getting here on our sidewall, keeping our metal brackets from really digging into there, and just doing a great job of protecting it for ourselves. Now you might notice we actually have a rubber tensioner on here in the front, and that's because we do just have a little bit of extra slack that we need to be taken out of here, even with our nice little cam lever. That's one thing I highly suggest, and it's probably going to be needed with these guys, to take out just that little bit of extra slack. That way we have a nice fit here on our wheel. Now before we get to our install with this guy, one thing I do want to, or a couple things we need to get out of the gate. Today we are working on two 55/70 R18 tires. Let's make sure we're putting our own tire size into the fit guide here at etrailer.com. That way we get the right fit for our vehicle at home. And secondly, we do have it here on the front wheel. Now all Gladiators are going to be your 4x4 or your four-wheel drive train. To that end, you have kind of your own options of putting this on your vehicle. Now, why we have it on the front, a lot of people like to say as they start approaching that kind of stop as they're going forward, the momentum of your vehicle carries you forward, and the weight of it is putting pressure on those front wheels, and therefore that's going to gain us a little bit more traction to get through that snow. But, you know, if you ask other people, they really like in the back. If you are loading a lot of gear and a lot of equipment and a lot of weight in that bed of your Gladiator, that can be helpful to really start digging into those wheels. Again, it's going to be a little bit up to you, and let's make sure we're checking with all local guidelines to make sure we're putting it on the right wheel. At the end of the day, the safest bet is just to go ahead and grab two pairs. That way you can throw one on the front and on the rear. A couple little things too right before we get to the install. We do have a ladder style chain. What that's doing for us, giving us a really good start and stop maneuver. So again, that's why this is primarily and only really going to be for your on-road uses. If you guys are looking for some off-road chains, highly recommend maybe looking at our LT studded chains, or even just some V-bar supports of doing a great job of actually biting through that heavy duty snow and ice. But these guys are going to be great if you're just looking for a little bit more traction control. That way we can get somewhere safe. Well, let's go ahead and see how we can actually get this on our vehicle. To begin our installation, what we want to do is just lay out our chains just like so. What we're looking for here, and it kind of kinks our binds our chains might have gotten in while in storage. Now what's nice for us, these steel rollers usually don't have too much issue actually getting bound up on anything. The biggest thing that happens, one of these chains kind of gets loops underneath your cross chains here, and you just got to work it out, and that's pretty straightforward. The big thing we are looking for though here is making sure our hard points of contact are actually pointed up and away. And so we're going to be setting this on our wheel and enveloping our tire, and we definitely don't want that catching on any of our rubber, potentially rupturing it or causing any kind of punctures. So no damage is always better. Let's make sure that is pointed up and away. And the other thing to take note of here is going to be right here, making sure our cam lever is on the outside. That way we can actually tighten this up on our wheel. We simply need to find our middle here though, and begin to set it on our tire. I like to kind of pull my connection points down to the bottom here to make sure they have a nice fit. But now we need to bring ourselves to the inside of our tire to make our first connection. We're going to have these little blockers here, and we just need to walk that up into our bracket. Now I'm going to go about to the third or maybe the fourth here today just to try it. Now this could take a little trial and error just to go ahead and get it fitted, so we may have to come back. But what I'm going to do is also take my extra links here. We're going to have a nice little bracket, simply slot that through. but that way it's nice and secure and we don't have those extra guys flopping around. Now we need to bring ourselves to the front of our wheel. So I think that guy might be the last one. Let's see if we can try one more. Alrighty, that's looking good. And now I need to bring my lever back onto itself, slide it through, make sure our bracket is out of the way, and make that connection. So we're definitely gonna need some rubber tensioners with these guys, but I think I can maybe get one more. And what I've done, I simply brought my chain and I've kind of evened it up. And what I like to do is kind of pull on them, especially here at the bottom where that rear connection has been made. And let's see if we can get one more here on our lever to tighten it up. There we go. I can even get one more there. So with our rubber tensioners hand, these are sold separately here at etrailer.com, but they can be very nice to take out that last little bit of slack. We want to slot it here at the bottom. Try to avoid your lever. Luckily, we have a pretty good distance on the other side. And now we just want to go straight across here. And much like you would if you're tightening up a lug nut on your wheel, except this time, of course, we're going to have 6 positions to kind of tether on. Simply going down to the other side and around. Big things to take note of though, let's make sure those hooks are pointed away. We don't want those interacting poorly with the rubber of our wheel. And just like that, we've done a good job. Now what this is gonna do, you can see pulling the last little bits of this more towards the center, taking out that last little bit of slack, and now we have a really nice tight fit. Otherwise though, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Titan Chains cable snow tire chains here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.